I think another thing is, we used to, like, do you remember back in the day, like, if you had something, not saying you don't have it, but you used to shy away from the public with it, knowing, like, you didn't work for it. So, like, I've got a Rolex, but when you take a picture, you take a picture, you're calm and collected. But now, it's like, more public. The other lifestyle, the criminal lifestyle, is more public than the other lifestyle. But then we used to hide, not hide, but we used to be more like more calmer with it. Like, yo, bruv, I got all these jewels and stuff, but I know I didn't really work for it. So
more of a case now that because you're not on the road and you're legit now, don't the rules change a bit? So for instance, when you're on the road, I think you're more likely for someone to get at you because we're all in the same thing. Whereas when someone's doing a legit business now, it's almost like, even if someone was going to try and take something off you, it's more like now he's a working man. It's not, you're not part of that life. I don't have to explain it, but you're not more.
No, but the villains don't care,
Yeah, the villains don't care.
Yeah.
They don't just see a rollie on your wrist.
They just see a rollie on your wrist.
They don't know if you work for it or.
Back then it was a case of, if you go and commit, okay, like now, when you do an F, you're going to go and buy something. Are you taking a picture where you're buying it? Now they are.
Yeah, of course. They're done now. They're done now.
So I started realizing some of these things. So not saying one thing made me start. There's a bunch of little things that make you start. Hang on, how's man making that public? Soon enough, things are gonna blow up. You gotta make decisions to not. Do you get it? You gotta know when to like step something out and say, boy, you know what? I'm not trying to catch a 6 because we're now taking extra pictures.
You made a point now, but you made a point of stepping out of the game. But how come you still got friends who are still in the game?
Because
and if you was a good friend, you would have brought them out. Why haven't you brought them out?
No. Wait. No, I can step into this one. No, Gabriel.
Affirmation, 8,000 people. And you couldn't be one of their boys to come and visit with you.
I can actually step into this one. You know what it is here? Because we've got the mutuals.
We have a lot of friends.
Yeah, we've got, yeah, fam. No, Gabriel.
You want to tell me that you with personality,
Gabriel.
you couldn't bring one of your good friends and say, listen, brother,
Gabriel,
I'm gonna come with me, man. Come with me, man.
But wait. It's not like I want to say it on camera, but I have and it didn't work. More than one. And I know in 2 months you're not going to be there, or 3 months you're not going to be there. Kind of give me a heads up. But I'm planning 3 months with you, and then you're not there. And then I go, it's happened.
Them man don't like no money.
It's not everyone that can say, you know what, I'm out of the game, I'm gonna get.
And the thing is, them men are still going in and out till today.
No one cares. It's hard for you to say, I'm on my own. I knew I was alone. Like, I knew the grind was by myself, but I grew up grinding by myself. It was never a case of, oh, I gotta go and hustle with 20 man. If I need a link, I gotta go find a link to make that shit happen. Do you understand? So now I'm working, but I'm working for a bigger purpose. If I was working by myself and I didn't have a family, there's a lot of chances that people can come in because it's only me. But I got a family, I got to think about other people now.
You mentioned the family, and I think you mentioned how it kind of made you a bit more stable. Like it's sort of, you know, they say fire ballet. You know what I mean? It's made you calm down a bit. It's made you calm down a bit. Now, would you say now, often people talk about when a woman gets with a guy and she gets married and the guy has a lot of money and then leaves. Would you say that there's a lot of work that your wife has done that you can't even put a value to?
Yeah, man.
Because sometimes you look at these things when like someone divorces and they're like, oh, she's gone away with 1M, she's gone away with this and that. And people sometimes say that, right, she didn't do anything. She wasn't, you weren't shooting with me in the gym. But would you say that there's some things that your woman has done that you can't even quantify?
Yeah, because what she's very understanding. Because what you got to understand, what for me, my missus' father's a businessman. He owns Agege Bread. So my missus' dad owns Agege Bread, the one in Deptford. You understand? So he owns that. So she grew up in seeing my dad work hard, trying to provide for the family. So she's understanding to the process. The transition of, yo, this is how it's going to have to be for these couple of months, and then this is going to happen, and working together. She's also an entrepreneur. She doesn't have a 9 to 5. So she's a businesswoman Monday to Sunday. Do you understand? So these things is something that someone that understands what you're about to do kind of aids, because they, even when you don't know, they've kind of
got your back and they understand.
They might not even say nothing, just
nudge you,
what's wrong with you? Shit, get out, like, and then you get married. And then you start having kids, and then you start seeing the bigger picture of things. Where my daughter's 5 in like August the 11th, so like 2 days from now, my daughter's gonna be 5. That's 5 years already. And in 5 years, I can't see the reason why I've made a bad choice. I'm very happy with my choices. Do you get it? So I think it's looking back and knowing my choices is paying off now. That's making me even happier. But I tell anyone, when you're initially going through it, you feel like, no, why the hell am I making £50? when my bedroom just bought the brand new bus down and I could literally get the flex of him and mash 10K.
Yeah.
You have to be a man. You have to, not saying you're not a man doing that, but you have to be a man and say, listen, big man, you looked in the mirror and said, I'm going left. Why are you going to now go the other way?
Yeah.
You're disappointing yourself. And then you start realizing that 50 turns to 51 and 52 and 57. You're getting knocked back to 52 again, goes to 59. You got to understand the whole process, because it is a process. It takes a long time for anything. All these brands you're wearing, it's not been 10 years, it's not been 20 years, it's not been 30 years. So if you want to be a brand, you gotta work like the other brands. Everyone's book has got madness in it. Some people, successful people, they lost their whole family. And then they carried on. So you lost money, but you still got your family. You lost this, you still got that. So you gotta look at whatever you're going through, look at someone else that's been through worse and use it to balance yourself back. And that's kind of what I did constantly. I did public speaking, because it helped me and it helped others. And then I just came on social media.
Yeah, I remember when you did stuff.
Okay. Then I just came on social media. I came on social media last year, and then I came back on this year because I felt like there's a point where I just want to give myself. I don't want to give no one else. I want to give here, and then when I get home, give there, and then go and give here and give there. You find out that everyone still gets alright because you're filling up yourself even more. Yeah. Do you understand? You're not being.
What year did you move here? Around the same time as me, innit?
The country?
Yeah.
95.
Yeah, year before.
95. I went Michael Ramsey.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of Michael Ramsey. That's how I knew that I was already a troublemaker. I came to the country, I got kicked out of my first school. Yeah, then my mom said, we're moving to East London because you're speaking Jamu. You know them times it was yardies, innit? You weren't allowed to be like, like Afrobeat came about in like 07, 08.
Yeah.
So everyone in 99, 2000, you're Wagwan, and they can tell. And them times they used to say African boo. Me, I don't know the meaning of African boo. Now, so if you say African boo, and your mum means you're gonna fight. So I'm fighting for your mum, but I don't understand why I'm fighting, but I'm fighting.
Me and you fight now. The next day we're best friends.
Cool.
Yeah.
Better the English here. Like Barry and David have a little scrap, and
most of your closest friends in Nigeria, you met from fighting them. Yeah. Because it's that mutual respect. But here, you become enemies.
It's different, man. You
become enemies,
and then
it carries on for life.
Hates you.
Yeah.
But like you get situations where, I remember last time I went to a concert. But I'm talking about, I can't even remember. But you know when you can't honestly remember someone? I came to a concert in like Brixton or something. And I've come outside and someone goes, oh, can I speak to you around the corner? But I'm with my bedroom. I'm thinking, you know when you're looking at someone? I'm thinking, do I know you? And then in my head I clocked. I was like, brother, allow it, man.
Yeah, it's too long now.
5 years ago, you wouldn't even have gone around the corner. You'd have tried to fight and all that. But
at this age, it's too long.
I'm not thinking about that guy. I'm thinking about the fact that I've got staff that's gonna phone me. I must pick up my phone. I got kids that expect me. So you gotta find things that substitute the way you feel.
Part of being a man, we need that discipline to be able to just say, you know what, it's not worth it.
Yeah, but it's not. A lot of people realize that. You know what? I don't need to do this, but sometimes you have to prove a point. Like if someone does that once, but then I go somewhere again and he does that again, we have to address it the second time.
Remember what I said last night?
But that initial time is, brother, I've told you I ain't got time for this. Then the second time is you're trying to draw attention. It's okay, what is the attention you want? Well, we don't need to get to that.
I'll give you an example, You remember last night what I said? When them youths drove around the corner, and so he was in Shoreditch now. Yeah. And the youths bust the corner, and he drove slow. And he's creeping, looking, and we're looking, me, him, Marv, and who else was there?
Richard.
Yeah, and we was looking, and I said to him, if this was like 15 years ago and man did that and I was with my brethren, I said, you know what time it would have been? They would have started busting. Because it wouldn't even it would have been act now, think later. And I said, that's over nothing. And my man's looking at us and I'm thinking, there was no need. And I'm thinking, you don't realise, they probably were like early 30s or late 20s. We're not your age group. You get me? So I just laughed. I said, if it was 10, 15 years ago and I was with other men I roll with, they would just stay busting without even thinking.
Some people like trouble, you know.
But what you're saying